Stephanie, you recently been winding down your position in Ensco to start a position in Schlumberger. Why are you favoring Schlumberger over Ensco?
Well, I mean, I like them both. I like the deep water market very much. I think that oil services also is very attractive. You're definitely getting data points that the market in deep water is still tight. It's still very tight. With Schlumberger, you get a couple of different things, right? You get land, you get offshore, you get domestic, you get Gulf of Mexico, you get international. And the real reason I like Schlumberger over the other oil services companies is because they do about 80% of their revenues overseas. And we are starting to see better pricing. Margins were actually better than expected in their quarter. And you actually saw that at Baker Hughes and Halliburton as well. They weren't nearly as strong as Schlumberger, but I like their dominance, their market share position, their balance sheet, and they do have about a 60% share in the deep water market. So you kind of get a lot of different things rolled up into one with Schlumberger.
Right, and you said you like the international part of Schlumberger. We saw great growth out of there in the margins in Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Is there a risk to that margin growth?
Well, you know, I guess if the global economies continue to decelerate from here, certainly, and that would be the case for the entire industry, there would be risk. But with Schlumberger, what I like is that they are taking pricing. They kind of test out pricing in with their smaller customers and some of the smaller products. And if it goes well, then they actually then can be aggressive and increase throughout the board. And they did indicate that they are taking market share. So I like that part of the story. Great balance sheet, good management, very deep bench, and so I just think you do have the risk reward from here. I mean, it's down from $94 from its high, so I think the valuation is very attractive. And in this kind of an environment, Lindsay, I think you want to try and find the best in breed in each industry. Find the industry leader, because on the days where the markets really start to fall, you'll be able to get it at a pretty good attractive price for the long term.
Now, Ensco, I know it's run a little bit more than Schlumberger, but is there any other reason why the stock can't keep going up? I think it's still below its high for the year.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Ensco is a great story. You have a dividend also with Ensco. You have a little bit one with Schlumberger, but not a big one. And I think that Ensco is definitely the industry leader. The issue with Ensco is, I think, a lot of the news is known, right? A lot of their contracts have already been repriced and have been extended. So this is great, and you have good visibility, but you have a lot of upside. So I think you've been seeing some folks that have been kind of trading around in this in the deep water market. So they're going to rig and they're going to diamond offshore. The lesser of the in the group, or I should say, not the lesser, but just kind of the ones that have to still turn around and the ones that have more upside to their contract pricing. Ensco's already been there, done that kind of thing. I do think if there's a chance that the stock could enter into the S&P 500 and into the index, and so that could actually lead to a pop in the shares as well.
This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to